Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio, and on this channel we talk about all things beauty. And today we are doing this simple full glam fall halo eye. And I know what you're thinking, how is that possibly simple? It's black eyeshadow, smoky eye, and a halo. How, Sway? Well, I'm gonna show you. This is such an easy look. It's literally 4 steps for this eyeshadow look. Again, a glam way to do, or an easy way to do glam is by putting on a pair of lashes and then throwing on a lip. But this is such a nice bold look that you can just mute down the lips a little and create a nice fall time vampy smoky halo eye. Like, look at this. Guys, come on. Come on. So I promise this is gonna be simple. I know how simple looks are your jam. They're becoming my jam too, thanks to you guys. So thank you and shout out for that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. It's a quick click down below. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of the week. This channel is all focused around beauty and making things super easy for you guys to understand. I feel like knowledge is power. So if you understand the way that something works or why we say use this brush versus that brush, it's gonna be easier for you guys to understand glam, and it'll actually be fun. Glam makeup should be fun regardless. So if you haven't subscribed, and if you're ready to find out how simple, I promise it's simple, how simple this look is, then just keep on watching. All right guys, so let's get started on this look. I have one side done. Let me get you zoomed in a little more. Boom. Okay. So we're zoomed in. We are doing this look right here, and I know you read it in the captions. I said simple, and it is. So let's get started because you're not gonna believe how simple this look is to create. So we're gonna take the P. Louise P. Louise base, and we're gonna prime our eyelids. I'm taking very minimal of the base. I just like to make sure that I have something for the eyeshadow to adhere to, and I use concealer to clean up my brows anyways. So there is like about half concealer, half base, but that's okay. So just as long as your eyelid is covered, we're just gonna get started by setting that. I have a love-hate relationship between setting and not setting powders. I just feel like sometimes it's convenient and sometimes I just want it to be a little tacky, but today we're gonna set. So I'm gonna use my compact MAC C2 here to make sure that that is taken care of. So we're gonna pounce that all over. Boom, I love it. Okay, so once that is in place, we are going to get started right away with this look, and we're gonna go into this nice intense orangey tone. So we are using this palette here, which is the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I love this palette. Just like the Urban Decay, it is a palette that's super convenient to have because the colors just work for year round or even simple looks or glam looks like this one. So what I did is I'm gonna take Sienna in the palette, which is this guy right here. Losing brushes, sorry. This guy right there, that is Sienna. It's a nice burnt orange color. I love that brick color to it. And so Sienna, I'm gonna build up using the Makeup Shack T46 brush right here. I'm gonna dust, ooh, better be careful with that. I'm gonna dust off any extra powder. I'm wearing a white shirt and I'm just like randomly dusting off. And so we're gonna put that right into the crease area. So it's gonna be right in that very hollow bend of the eye, in between the lid and the brow bone. We're happy. Okay, good. So next we're gonna move up in brush sizes because we wanna smoke that out a little bit. And I'm gonna go up to the T59, or no, T50. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Burnt Orange and Rustic, which are just a hint lighter than that Sienna. So those are the 2 shades right here. We're gonna mix those up lightly onto this brush. This is a nice big fluffy brush. This is gonna help us smoke that out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shake off the excess, and we're gonna take this along the edges of Sienna, and we are just gonna make sure that everything is blended and smoked out. There are no harsh lines. And it's okay if it goes up a little higher. As you can tell on the other side, it went up just a little bit from where it was placed, but that's okay. That's why this blending brush is so important, because it'll help to blur everything and make it nice and blended. That's the beauty about smoky eyes, is that they are very much an organized mess, and we're okay with that. So we're just gonna blend this out. Okay, so we're moving on to the black already. Like we are there already. It's so easy. 3 steps in and we're like almost done with this eye look. So we're gonna take that noir, which is that black shadow in the palette, and I'm gonna take a nice fluffier thin brush here. So that's a flat brush, but it is pretty fluffy. Get rid of the excess, and we're gonna start by putting this black down in the center of the lid and working to blend around that. And I'm pulling in towards the center always when I'm using these colors on the lid. It's almost as if you were doing a halo eye, but not. And the nice thing about this brush being so fluffy and tapered like it is that I can use it to kind of blend the edges out as I'm putting it down. I want pigment, I want dark, I want rich black in the center, but I also want to make sure that we're blending this, which is why I'm pulling in. So you guessed it, we're gonna go back to the shade that we used first, which is Sienna. I'm gonna make sure that there's barely anything left on this brush. I really want it to just blend and merge the 2 colors versus adding more color. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that right in between the black and the browns and the oranges and just windshield wiper motions a little more freely than at the beginning, but you just wanna make sure that everything is blended and cohesive. Nothing is super harsh or marked out. We are at the last step for the eyeshadow part of this, and it's so cool because it's one of these BH Cosmetics eye lights is what it is. And so what I do is I put it on my hand, and instead of applying it directly to the lid, I'm going to use my ring finger, pick it up by dabbing, and then we are going to dab that right in the center of the lid to get our spotlight. And I like the iciness and the contrast that is in this nice bold silver shade versus the black eyeshadow. Like it just looks so good, and I'm obsessed. How is that? That's like, that has your attention. That's so bold. I love it. We're already up the step that we're gonna use some lashes. So for lashes today, we're gonna take the Beauty Creation Lashes Inexpensive. This type of lash is wispy and sexy, but it also lets you see behind the lash, which is important for a look like this because it's honestly all about the smoke with this look. Love it. So I'm going to apply some mascara and put some lashes on, and then I'll have you guys back with lashes for Complexion. All right, so let's get started on this complexion because I'm super excited for you guys to see how this look is so quick and it comes together perfectly. Like nothing has, I love that you guys love simple because so do I, and that was super quick. It's literally what, four eyeshadows, 4 steps for the eyes, and then we're done. Like it's such a quick fall time glam that's, I mean, it looks like it took you a while, and you're gonna kill the smoky eye like a pro. So let's get moving on to complexion. So for complexion, we're gonna prime first, and we're gonna use this combo right here. So we've got the YSL Instant Pore Primer as well as the Mindful 5 by Smashbox. I'm gonna start with the YSL in the center of the face. Love me a good prime situation. Good instant mattifying pore primer is so good. And this Mindful 5, if you're dry, combination skin, and you just need something for your face, this is so good. I feel like it provides just some hydration to the skin, so it'll help your makeup just wear better and look better. I just love that. All right, so let's get on to foundation. There's no question. Like, I have not found a full coverage foundation that I like more than this. I'm sorry, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. If you guys have tried it, comment down below and tell me if I'm rightfully obsessed or if you don't know what I'm talking about. So just comment down below and tell me, because, you know, it might not change my opinion on this foundation, but I love it. I love it. It's still my absolute favorite foundation. So I'm going to apply this with a buffing brush. I use the Smashbox 24-Hour Foundation in 2.18. Full coverage, matte finish. Amazing, amazing on the skin. You can barely tell. Like, look at the coverage of this foundation. And you can still see like a glow to the skin, which to me is so important. Guys, look at this. Look at that finish on the foundation. I leave this area without any foundation because I go ahead and apply concealer there. And I don't want to just overdo the layers, but I love this. Love it so much. All right, so let's contour and bronze. We're going to bronze with the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick in medium tan. This is just gonna help give me some color back. My foundations are all a little uneven because of the fact that I tanned recently. So to even that up and bronze naturally, I like to use cream products like that foundation. So I'm gonna push that into the skin using this brush. This is by BH Cosmetics. It's part of their Marvel collection. They have it that comes in like a little container. I have it linked below in some of my videos, so go check out that link so you know exactly which brush collection I'm talking about. It's so inexpensive and it's got such good brushes that I use every day. Boom. Okay, I like that. I'm going to contour up just a little bit with my LA Girl Beautiful Bronze Concealer. It is just a hint darker and I like that as a contour shade, so I'm just going to take that into the temple area and the cheekbones, which is usually where I like my contour. And we're just going to push that up together to just kind of carve out further, especially in the cheekbone area. So I recently used this concealer on a client and I absolutely love the way that it looked. I don't know why I stopped using it, but I did. I have a full bottle here basically. And so this is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I'm going to use it in the shade NC20. And so I'm going to take a pump of that. It comes out on the back of my hand. And I actually like to apply this concealer. This is like quite lighter than what I am at the moment. So I'm not going to use two, I'm just going to use one. And I'm going to apply it with my hand first, or my finger, to the areas where I want to place it. It is more of a natural finish concealer, so I like to apply it and let it get a little thick, a little tacky, almost dry down a little bit, so it will blend out better for me. The coverage just comes out better. Not that this concealer is not full coverage, don't get that part wrong. I just like the fact that as it starts drying down, to me, it just stays better, it blends better. So I'm going to work that into the skin in the areas that I want it, first with my finger. And then once I'm pretty happy with placement, then we're going to start blending out with the sponge. And I'm just going to start with the areas that are furthest away from the under eye, which is the forehead and the chin. And we're just going to push this into the skin like we do. Again, I'm a little darker than what I usually am, so it looks way brighter than what I would usually like it to look, but I'm okay with that. We like J-Lo bright. So the next thing we're going to do is set. So we're going to set using the Jojo powder combination. I'm just going to use my smaller sponge to set this. We're going to push that into the skin over that concealer to make sure we are pushing the layers into each other. It's very important. This powder just melts into nothing, and if you haven't tried it, you should absolutely try to make this concoction on your own. You would obviously tweak the Maybelline Fit Me colors based off of your complexion. So if you're similar to me, then you can absolutely use a fair light and the light combination, the fair and the light powders together. However, if you're darker complexion, just kind of gauge that based off of what your skin tone is. What we're going to do next is go into the under eye area, and I'm literally going to do exactly what we did to the top to the bottom, except we're not going to apply the glitter. This eyeshadow palette comes with a two-sided brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take sienna and just kind of blow up the under eye area. But I want to use a different brush before we use the one that it comes with. So I'm going to use this JH40 to help me blow out sienna, very similar to the top. We want to see that underneath of the black and the brown because that's kind of like that main smoky color, main fall color. I love fall looks like this. It is absolutely my jam. A good halo eye is my jam, period. I just feel like it flatters my eye shape. But this is everything. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that black or the noir on this brush that came with the palette. So just a nice stiff brush. And we're going to smoke out the lower lash line. Just make sure that you're matching the top lash with the bottom lash. So everything just needs to be full and vampy and just voluminous. So just make sure of that. And then we can do some inner corner highlight. For the inner corner highlight, I want it to be as equally icy as that center. So I'm going to go into this palette we're going to use for the highlight, this corner one, which is called Glisten. It's the BH Cosmetics Blushing in Bali palette. And we're just gonna take that and brighten up that inner corner. Yeah. Let's move right along to the complexion. I don't use any more powder on the face after this. I think I'm pretty good. What I am gonna do is just reiterate a little bit of my bronzing and contouring. To do that, I'm gonna take the Hoola bronzer by Benefit Cosmetics, and I'm using a brush by Morphe. It's the JH05, and I'm just gonna set over everything just a little bit. I don't think that I need too much. It actually held together pretty well. We're just gonna sweep this underneath of the chin to help create that dimension, so it's in the shape of an E or a 3 depending on where you are, what side you're on. I'm actually going to bake a little underneath of the contour today just to help emphasize that a little more. I want to make sure that my cheeks are marked up. I actually like to dust that off into the contour to help really blend things in and smooth things over. There's nothing left over at the top. It's really mostly here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dust upwards to really help blend out this contour right there. Much more defined, but not like super intense, which I love. And then we are going to highlight and we are going to blush up with the same palette we used for the inner corner. I'm going to actually take a pause and set this very quickly. I'm going to use my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Let that absorb, kind of soften that up a little bit. I love the matte. Do not get me wrong. I love the matte. However, sometimes it's just nice to play with different formulas to get a good finish. You guys know that I love something that's not super matte, but matte, you know? Who knows? So I'm going to take Glisten again, which is that nice icy highlight we use in the inner corner. And as that's drying, I'm just going to sweep Glisten over the cheek area. And that gives it more of a skin-like finish. If you ever think that the powder highlight is just too powdery for you, this is a way to kind of get around that. Just set your face first, and as that's setting, you can put your highlight on and look at that. Holy crap. Boom. This highlight is intense. I love this. I mean, guys, look at that highlight. And it comes in this kit that's so inexpensive. I love that. Okay, so we're going to take Lychee, which is just a nice pink, peachy tone, and we're going to put that on the cheeks. It doesn't show up a lot in camera, but it is like the perfect blush to put on with an intense look like this, so it's not overwhelming. I like to just make sure the looks are a little cohesive, so because we did such a strong look on the eyes, we're gonna go a little softer on the lips. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. That's why we're doing a nude, not because I always do nudes. So let me get my nude lip on, let me rearrange my curls here, and then I'll be back to see you guys for an outro. All right guys, so we're back with this finished look. What do you guys think? I'm obsessed with this. This is so pretty. I love how dark and vampy it is, but the silver just wakes it up a little. It's absolutely fall appropriate, and the nude lip was the way to go. Like, we needed something to just kind of like bring her back down. You can absolutely do something a little more nude. I'm just not like a super icy nude, although I've been looking for one. So if you know of one, write it down, comment it below. I know that Josh over at Sephora, who works with me, gave me a really good recommendation for one that I hope that MAC still carries, but if they don't, you guys got me, right? So write your suggestions down to like an icy nude lip, like icy by like very cool tone, very muted, like almost skin-like. That would be perfect for me, you know? So that's it for today's look. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of the week. Every single week, you guys get to glam out with me, or we get to learn new things, do hauls, you know, all of the above. So share this video if you've liked it, and also look me up on Instagram. It's Jojo_Palacio, where we talk about all things beauty and so much more. I will see you guys next time. Love you, bless you.